Hang in there. It is.
Smylie Kaufman for 61. Wow.
I'm Smylie Kaufman, and this is The Smylie Show.
Welcome back to another episode of The Smylie Show from Oakmont in a very different location than where we were yesterday, Smylie. And if you're listening or watching, you can likely hear the rain dumping on the media center roof here. We've been relocated into the radio booths, the radio row of sorts here
I mean,
for weather.
it's a monsoon. Oakmont's getting, in the last 20 minutes, probably at least 2 to 3 inches of rain. That's how hard it's rained. This golf course just changed just like this. The place was firming up. It was getting fast. And all of a sudden, Mother Nature said, no. Too many bogeys.
Too many bogeys. And we were going to get to that. And if you can tell a difference in the quality of our production tonight, it's because we were shooting on an iPhone. That's all we had room for in the radio booth. But I will say there's one good positive out of this. Rain shorts.
Oh, those are them.
These are the rain shorts.
Well, just in case the
We
media
debuted
center
the
goes
rain
under
shorts.
and this turns into Big Kahuna Wave, you're going to be ready to go.
I'm going to be out there in my bucket and my rain shorts. I'm prepared for the weather. I came prepared this week, Smylie.
Well, it just finally stopped just absolutely monsooning.
Oh, great.
So,
Let's go outside.
No, we ain't going outside. I mean, it's still raining hard, but it was raining that hard to where it felt like this whole thing was going to cave on us.
So the stat of the day thus far is via the Elias Sports Bureau. I'm going to tell you the fewest players under par through the first 36 holes of a U.S. Open since 2000. There were none at Oakmont in 2007. There was one at Wingfoot in 2006 and one at Shinnecock Hills in 2018. 2 at Marion in 2013. 2 at Bethpage Black in 2002. And just 3 in both 2012 at the Olympic Club and this year at Oakmont in 2025. You got Sam Burns, you have Viktor Hovland up there, you have JJ Spaun, but those are the only 3 that made it under par today, and it's going to be interesting, Smylie, to see how the rain's going to have a material impact on the course. And it looked like it was there were a lot of frustrated guys, a lot of tough sledding out there. You'd assume the scoring gets better on Saturday with how soft the course is going to be. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. You would have to think so. You know, it got pretty dicey out there, especially with hole locations that were just on top of these false fronts. Like the third hole comes to mind, you know, where players, you know, they were landing it just past the hole location. I think it's ricocheting over to the back of the green.
How about the pins on 2 and 4?
2 and 4. 2 was awesome. You know, 2 has been sneaky one of my favorite holes this week.
Yeah.
Just because not only it's gives you 3 different places to play a shot off of the tee. You can iron, you can hit kind of that hybrid 3-wood, or you can hit driver over the bunker that's like a 30-yard short right at the green. And we've seen guys do every stage of those. That's exactly what you want as an architect, especially to challenge the best players in the world, is can you make a player make a strategic decision? And we've seen a lot of players make interesting decisions there in the course. That second hole has been one of the tougher holes this week, and it's one of the shortest holes on the golf course.
Yeah, it's. I think that it's been delightful, some of the decisions they made in terms of creating a different degree of difficulty or different type of shot with some of these pin locations through the first 2 days. You expect that to continue over the next 2 here at Oakmont, and really kind of weeding out the guys that are striking at the best this week. I mean, that approach category has been really, really important. I mean, obviously off the tee as well. There's really no place you get a relief here at Oakmont. But I mean, it is definitely been it's been set up pretty nicely. Smylie, here is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do another version of what we did yesterday, except I'm gonna have you try to guess the top 5 players on the odds board at DraftKings Sportsbook and what their odds are associated. So DraftKings Sportsbook, this week only, new customers can bet just $5 and win $300 in bonus bets if your bets hit. So Smylie, guess away. Let's start. Who do you think has the shortest odds to win this tournament at this moment, and what do you think those odds are?
I'm looking at Data Golf just so I can have like the leaderboard pulled up, just so I can make sure I get this right. I'm going to say Sam Burns is the slightest of favorites. We'll put him at, gosh, he's got a 1-shot lead, hasn't won a major, close to 10-1. I'm going to go with 9-1.
How about 3-1 plus 330 to win outright at the U.S. Open? Sam Burns is.
I just kind of thought I don't think really Vegas knows what to do at this point, because who's going to win this golf tournament right now? I have no idea, but that seems pretty short.
It very short, but I think the point that they're making, or the point I guess they're making, is just that that's the guy that's in the best form. A rider, or guy's been on Ryder Cup teams, was just in a playoff last week.
I just like, what's the big difference between like Brooks Koepka yesterday shoots 200 par 70, and he was at plus 1200 heading into the next 54 holes. I know there's 36 holes left, and I'm sure that has a big reason why he's so short there, but that's a little surprising. Even like where I guess, which is 10-1, I would have still said that would have been closer to 5 or 6-1, right?
I think it's probably a reflection of the fact that they're
not going to give you a 5-1 as the best first odds, is what you're getting at.
Well, I just think that there is not a ton of proven talent. I mean, Sam Burns and Viktor Hovland are the guys that are in the best form.
Are you saying that's the next guy?
Well,
I was going to say that's the next guy.
I'm doing bad giving away.
All right, so now
here.
that you've set the bar at Sam Burns at 3-1, Victor's going to be plus 450,
plus 550,
plus 550. Okay.
Close. And the next three is sort of interesting. Who do you think's next on that board? JJ. Okay, where do you think JJ's sitting?
Let's go 750.
7-1.
7-1.
Good there.
And then let's go. Gosh, I would say that. Let's see. I'm gonna slide Ben Griffin in there at fourth. Is that right?
What do you think Ben's odds are?
I'm gonna guess he's 3 back. Go with 12-1.
He is at 11-1.
Okay.
But he is not fourth. There's a player ahead of him.
And that's gonna be Scottie Scheffler.
What do you think they have Scottie's favorite to win the tournament?
Probably 10-1.
He is 7 plus 750.
Plus 750. Jeez.
That to me is still crazy in that, after Rory won the Masters and their odds had moved closer, for the U.S. Open, it was like plus 400, plus 500. I mean, Scottie is spotting Sam Burns, a 1 over round today, 3 over yesterday, so he's 4 over. So he's 7 shots off of Sam Burns' lead with 36 holes to play here. And he hasn't played Scottie Scheffler A-game golf, but yet they still have him, just a short ways off the who's going to win the tournament.
It's super interesting. I even see a guy like Russell Henley in a really good spot at +2, and Adam Scott sneaky at even par. You got to love his potential chances this week, and I would love the storyline of Adam Scott having a chance heading into Sunday too, because he's such a well-liked player. He's done so much in this game, and he's got a Hall of Fame career, of course. Wouldn't it be great to see Adam Scott have a chance on Sunday?
Adam Scott, I don't have the exact stat in front of me because we moved around about 3 different times, but it's in high 90s in terms of consecutive majors played. I think we talked about this last summer, 96 or 97. It might be around 98 now. I'll have to get the exact stat when I'm in front of it. But just the level of consistency. I mean, at 17 today, he hit it over on that right side and had a long par putt to come back to make that, and he is there with Ben Griffin. Even tied for 4th in the tournament, I believe, right now. So huge kudos to just his longevity of that career. But yes, Adam, I believe, is 18-1 on DraftKings Sportsbook right now. Just he's the next shortest odds after Ben Griffin. So it'll certainly be interesting there to see how this shakes out tomorrow. Let's get back to Sam there, Smylie, a guy who makes it into a playoff last week. It is, and this is one of the aspects of that playoff I wanted to talk about. When you have a guy who is one of the best putters or the best putter statistically on tour, and you putt the way you did in that playoff, where you'd expect him to make some of those opportunities to kind of end it where it did, and he ends up losing in that playoff to Ryan Fox. Do you think, what level of pressure do you think impacts the best parts of Sam's game? And, it's one thing to be leading after 36 holes at the U.S. Open, having not won it. How do you think his mental approach changes over these next 2 days where he's leading on a weekend at Oakmont?
Well, it's such a one shot at a time golf course, and I know that's so cliche to say, but that's the mentality you got to be as a player. Because this golf course, you can't fall asleep on one single shot, and par's a good score. I think that's just a good reminder to Sam to know that, hey, even if I don't make the perfect golf swings over a course of 18 holes, or we should say over the next 36 holes, you're going to make poor swings. But what Sam has in his arsenal is the best putter. He's probably most arguably one of the best putters in the world. So showing up knowing that he can potentially make those 6 to 10 foot par putts, even stretch those things out to 15 feet par putts that you're going to have out here. that's something that he needs to lean on and know that, hey, when I get on these runs that are poor, which you're going to get on a bad run in Oakmont, it's just a matter of time, know that the putter's going to bail you out and that you have the firepower to be able to hit driver in places that other guys aren't. So the driver and the putter, I think, are the most important aspects to Sam's game, and that's what he needs to lean on.
And what do you think about Viktor as a guy who we've tipped to break through and win his first major for a couple of years now, and kind of has had it's been a strange journey of switching swing coaches, going back to Joe Mayo, and even the way he plays golf. It's felt this week like it's been a bit of a roller coaster, but today he posted that one under, for the tournament number early, and just watched his name move up and up and up the leaderboard as guys went out in the afternoon and had to struggle with it. So, I mean, do you think the type of golf he's playing right now is conducive to winning a U.S. Open, even if there's some variance on a course that kind of demands consistency?
Yes, Viktor Hovland's playing golf. We've been looking for Viktor Hovland to start playing golf again. What do I mean by that? I mean that Viktor Hovland's not playing golf swing. He's not out there trying to find something that he's been looking for, whether it's in 3D or a feel. He's out there playing shots and shots that he knows are coming out in the right windows and have the right feels. He'll probably argue that it's maybe not all the way there, but the stats say that he's first tee to green, second in approach, and the putter's been fine. So what Viktor Hovland needs to do, wear out the fairways, wear out the greens, know that he's a proven winner, and that when everybody looks at his name on the leaderboard, they know he's not going anywhere. And I think that's what Viktor has going for him. And shoot, could this be Viktor Hovland's first major win at Oakmont, U.S. Open? Wouldn't shock me if at the end of the week this is a place that Viktor Hovland wins, because what's the attributes of this place? You have players that have won multiple major championships here. Well, we expect Viktor Hovland to win multiple major championships. And we also know that Viktor Hovland is an elite, ultimate ball striker. Players that have won here are also fit in that category. So he would be a worthy champion, and I think just those first two guys we start out with, kind of interesting back and forth in those dynamics. And then the sleeper and all this is JJ Spaun, who I think is just going to just quietly just be kind of hiding in your couch cushion like a remote. He ain't going anywhere.
Well, and on Viktor, I think it's interesting. We led into the week with that stat about, I believe, 7 of 9 winners who are winning their first major at Oakmont. And that list of winners, many of them Hall of Famers, if not all of them. And we know Viktor it takes him some years and a full resume to put it together, but he's a guy that if he keeps playing the way he has been early on, could be a Hall of Famer. So it'd be a fitting winner at a difficult test if he were to break through here and something that's happened here before. You were with JJ today. He ends up, gives 2 shots back, but again, that is not a bad number relative to the rest of the field and some of the carnage we saw with guys like John Rahm or Brooks Koepka, who heading into the day felt like some of the shortest numbers, if not the shortest on the board. So for JJ, what do you take away from the round today? You're still only a shot off the lead. You were leading yesterday, positioned well going into the weekend with the right type of game for Oakmont.
I think JJ should feel very comfortable just overall about where his game at. It was a totally different JJ Spaun today, in a good way. It's back to what we would normally see from him, which is elite ball striking. He was finding just about every single fairway, finding a lot of the greens. Struggled with the putter a little bit on the back 9. Had 2 really lousy 3-putts, ones that you shouldn't have 3-putted. And some up and downs that he took care of yesterday, just wasn't able to today. For the most part, they weren't bad bogeys, or I should say they weren't sloppy bogeys, in the fact that he's not missing it way offline, having to hack it back in the fairway, and not having a chance to make par. He had good looks for par at all these holes. Just needs to clean it up a little bit. But his ball striking is so superior that he's a player that I think can just continue to just think about par is a good score, and wear out the fairways and greens.
And I'll tell you, this is 2 days in a row now that Jackson and I have followed around the Ben Griffin, Andrew Novak, Matt McNeely group, and just to remain impressed with Ben's ability to manage this golf course and not make big numbers. And in particular, on the 17th, he hit it on that downslope on that front right greenside bunker where you are pretty hosed.
Sure.
And instead of, we watched Rasmus Højgaard there yesterday, hit it back in the bunker, and then you bring a huge number to play. And Ben just kind of played something safe out to the back corner of that green, left himself a 35 foot 2-putt, made par, and then, of course, made par at 18. And that was also a tough one as well. He was in the right rough in the fairway and kind of bounce one long and still gets it down. So I remain impressed with Ben's ability to just keep himself in the golf tournament and just play really consistent game in a week where that is demanded.
I mean, anytime you look up, he's in the top 10 of the leaderboard. This is the summer of Ben Griffin, and it's been a breakthrough year, him and JJ Spaun both. And I think both have a lot to play for. Ben Griffin seems like he's almost playing his way onto the team to where he's a shoo-in at this point just because how well he's played. I think JJ still has a little bit more to prove. I think another top finish at a U.S. Open, and he would basically almost have the points to get in as a automatic qualifier. So I know that's on the horizon, but as we look at this week, Ben Griffin has the confidence and the belief to win a U.S. Open, but you got to remember, the only time he's been in contention at a major championship was at PGA Championship, or at the PGA Championship, finishes in the top 10, but really was never really a part of the storyline because Scottie was so far ahead. But still, he'll feel the nerves tomorrow a little bit, and I think it'll be a big day for him. But I tell you what, I wouldn't be doubting what Ben Griffin's going to do because all he's done is just prove people wrong week after week.
We saw snippets of it, maybe not the entire thing, but a heated range session from Scottie.
Ooh.
They're posting one over.
And then Pete Cowan and Brooks Koepka, that was in the news too. I don't know if you saw that as well.
Yes, where JT had to go check on Brooks in the bunker when they were practicing. But I mean, I think Scottie, I don't know exactly what he's going through with Randy Smith there, but clearly just frustrated with the way he's hitting the golf ball right now. But looking at those odds on DraftKings Sportsbook, plus 750. What do you think's more likely, Smylie? Scottie finishes outside the top 10 or Scottie wins the golf tournament?
Ooh. I think I would say finish outside the top 10.
Yeah.
I would take that before him winning, just being, so far back. But it's Scottie Scheffler. If he comes out tomorrow, he just needs 9 holes where he's not steering it quite as much and just seeing it come out the right window. And then as soon as he just gets in that rhythm, and you know how quick it can come for a player like Scottie Scheffler. It doesn't take many shots for that confidence to really come back. And it's good to see him be frustrated after a round. That's the competitor in him, and he knows that he's so close to being right there in contention this week. And I think he made 11 bogeys in his first 2 days. I think he made 4 bogeys all week at the Memorial. If that gives you just perspective of how good he played
not an
there,
easy golf course,
and that the odds say he's top 5 in the odds board and made 11 bogeys in the first 2 days. So let's see what he can do over the next 2, and looking forward, see what he does on Saturday.
Yeah, it was good to see a little humanness from Scottie, a little frustration. We saw a little bit of that today from Rory McIlroy, who executed that perfect, that standard club toss, just the straightforward throw.
Well done.
It looked pretty. It was like the end over end helicopter.
He missed
really
it. He missed that shot left.
Yes, yeah.
You just can't miss him left.
Yeah.
That's no good there.
Well, but then makes birdies 2 of his last 4 holes to make the cut. Not even on the cut line. He finishes a 6 over. It's admirable. I think a lot of people. That was one of the most commonly placed bets this week was Rory plus 300 to miss the cut, and he got in there with a little room to spare. It feels like he's too far gone to really make a difference in this tournament. But
he's not winning this golf tournament. But it's these guys. They work every single week to do the best that they can. Rory McIlroy's not going to give up out there.
No.
He's too big. It means too much of him to not be here on the weekend. And he knows too how quickly tournaments can change. He goes out there and plays well tomorrow morning. I'm not saying he go out there and shoot a Johnny Miller 63, but let's say he goes out and shoots a decent score and can really salvage a decent week with a nice weekend.
What do you think the lowest score we'll see out here this week will end up being if it gets softer today and tomorrow? I mean, Saturday and Sunday.
It's so hard to predict right now. It feels like 65's on the low end, but gosh, if it becomes point and shoot out there,
could we see a 63?
I doubt it.
Yeah,
I would still say I doubt it, but I think we'll definitely see potentially another 65 if all this rain ends up really making it feel like the fairways play bigger off the tee, which if it's just spotting right when it lands. And now greens that are taking huge bounces, really, I would say today and yesterday, now are, you can get to some of these hole locations that we haven't. The guys that are hitting fairways are going to have an opportunity to attack.
Well, we've seen that DraftKings Sportsbook, that list of odds shake up a lot. over the span of really the last 3 days heading into the tournament and after Thursday and after Friday. I'm sure it'll happen again with some low scores tomorrow morning. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code SmileyShow. That's code SMYLIESHOW for new customers to score $300 in bonus bets when you win your $5 bet. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Smylie, just on the way out, and this is not miscut shaming, player shaming, more of just looking at the list of names that will not make the weekend here at Oakmont and where their scores ended up, and just a testament to what a difficult venue this has been and what a difficult competition this is. So let's start with the lowest scores. Ludwig Oberg misses it by a shot at 8 over, as does Wyndham Clark and Patrick Cantlay. Tommy Fleetwood at 9 over, Joaquin Niemann at 10 over, Bryson DeChambeau at 10 over, Sepp Straka at 11 over, Justin Thomas at 12 over, Justin Rose at 14 over, and Shane Lowry at 17 over.
It's a lot of big names, man.
It's a lot of big names, and honestly, with the exception of Joaquin Niemann, who obviously isn't even eligible for the competition, you're looking at a list of guys that are all hoping to be in play for the Ryder Cup. And by the way, playing that Ryder Cup at a former U.S. Open venue.
Yeah.
So I wonder just what you
throw in Akshay Bhatia too.
That's right.
Yeah.
What does anything surprise you on that list, or is it just one of those weeks where it's just
There's so
you
many.
see the frustration?
So many names.
It's tough for everybody.
Shane Lowry shocked me. Sepp Straka shocked me. I thought that was going to be a great course fit for them. Tommy Fleetwood too. I thought all three of those guys were going to have really good weeks. But the biggest shock of them all is Bryson DeChambeau.
Yes. Yeah.
He's been a major killer. He's finished top 6 in his last top 6 in his last 6 majors. I mean, just incredible.
Yeah, and I think, the thought heading into the week was just that his driving of the golf ball and the irons, and it was really, at least on the first day, it was just around the green where he got killed. I haven't had a chance to dive into the stats as much on how he did today, but I mean, it felt like he had the right game plan for this venue.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about on the broadcast that Bryson DeChambeau told his coach, Dana Dahlquist, this is one of his favorite golf courses he has ever played. Now, I don't know if he maybe has that same feeling after this week because of his poor play, but the putter was interesting. It was really poor for him, and I'm wondering was there too much calculations to make on the severity of these greens? It's not simple to do that much math, and maybe science didn't win at Oakmont.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's definitely a discussion to be had there about whether you get to a point where it feels like calculation should help for a course where there's so many factors involved. But, is a certain point where, to your point on Viktor Hovland, like, let's just go out and play golf. Let's not play golf.
He's an aim pointer, but it's a different type of aim point that they use. They really have everything down to a science to how far he takes the club back on his putt, the uphill, downhill, and then, of course, the math involved, how many inches out a putt is. Yeah. And he actually knows like what 24 inches out on the right or left would be, where I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know where to aim here, but that's how exacting he is. And you have to wonder if Oakmont's severity of the slopes of these greens, you have to wonder if that was just too much almost.
We missed his apparently brief range session over here on the way out.
I love that he hit balls after the round too.
So good. And I'm so bummed that we won't have the opportunity to try to snag him after a range session tomorrow night. Maybe he'll hang around, just hit some balls and join us. Saturday night's recap journal. One can only hope.
You know what? We're gonna put this out in the air. Why don't we have like a Budweiser Friday evening, guys at Trunk Slam that just want to go out and drink beers and hit golf balls just to get all their anger out. That could be something we could definitely be a part of.
We'll bring the cooler Saturday night. Meet us on the Oakmont
Friday
range.
night after they miss the cut.
Well, that's tonight, so I think we're a little late on planning that.
Oh no, I'm saying in future years.
Oh, future. Okay, yeah. Okay, here we go. We'll get it started.
Yeah.
We'll look
Nobody's
at
gonna be
Airbnb.
drinking beers tomorrow night unless they just say, "I'm throwing in the towel this week."
We'll call it the MC House.
Yes.
And then we can broadcast on Saturday and Sunday from the MC House with all of our friends who want to Trunk Slam, drink
all right,
beers.
here's the top 3 guys you want at the MC House drinking Budweisers, ripping balls after the end of the day.
Who you're asking me?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Is Bryson up there for you?
man, Bryson, the MC House would be great. He'd be a great analyst.
You're a big YouTube guy.
I'm a big YouTube guy. Yeah, give me Bryson for sure.
Okay,
and then
snake draft.
Yeah, okay. Are we each drafting 3 guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get 2 now.
Just guys in general to miss the cut this week.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's do of this week's list.
I think JT would have been a good time.
JT would have been an amazing time. He would have been an amazing time.
Yeah. Okay, and then another one for me. Okay, sleeper here. Mark Hubbard.
Oh,
guy's electric.
That guy would be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Shane Lowry for my next pick.
Oh, that's a sleeper there.
And then I'm going to finish my draft with Ludwig.
Oh, come on.
No, you
just want to be friends with Ludwig.
I just want to be friends with Ludwig. I just want to be friends. I got a good mix. I got Bryson, I've got Shane, I've got Ludwig, so I want to be his buddy.
Oh, gosh. I'm trying to remember who else missed the cut. Oh, give me
Tommy.
No, I'm not. Give me Gary Woodland.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Gary Woodland, what a bro.
That's a good house right there.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna workshop this.
Mark Hubbard, Gary Woodland, JT. We're gonna be drinking Bud Heavies, just ripping nugs out there Friday afternoon.
That sounds like a good. Sounds like a good Friday day house.
Just a shag bag of balls, a couple man sodas for the fellas, and just talking it out like the gentlemen that we are.
I love it. I love it. I'm just traipsing around my rain shorts, hanging out with Bryson, and drinking Guinness with Shane Lowry, and just.
So what? When's the next golf trip we're gonna go on together? Like, you're gonna have him just like, well, man, we should go on a trip to Europe.
We go to Sweden.
We
go to Norway. We bring Vic, go to Norway. Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
So actually, this is what you would do.
Okay.
You'd say, hey, Lud, I don't know if you're free in August, but member Hope Valley. Wouldn't hate to have you as Oberg Luddy signed up.
That's right. Yeah, we'll come up with an alias for you, and many people have been clamoring on social media for it to become an elevated event, and they think that you and Jordan could help. So I think we elevate that thing so that Ludwig gets 10 FedEx Cup points, and then we call it a day. So whatever it is, I like the MC House idea. We're going to work on that. And we're going to wrap it right here today because Jackson's got to edit a ton of iPhone footage at this point in the game. I have no idea how this is going to go.
Is that hard out of 10?
Wait, we're about to find out. Jackson's in the corner with a soaked squirrel hat, just loving life at Oakmont. Thanks for bearing with us. We appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll hopefully be in a drier locale tomorrow, hopefully on the range. And I'll be walking around my rain shorts. So,
would you rather be the nut or the squirrel, Jax? I'll leave you with that. I'll take nut.
I don't even know how to answer that question.
And that's it. See you guys.
I listen to this podcast. It's really cool. And
all of our lovely fans and subscribers, but make sure you like and subscribe.
It's cool to see what you guys are doing. I know golf fans appreciate it, but we do too. So please keep it up.
For all the good people at YouTube, like and subscribe.
You guys have some good takes, so I'm happy to come on and shoot the